Precious A. She is unfortunately indisposed today, but obviously by the grace of God, tomorrow she will definitely be here to actually ride you on this coast of the evening rush. And obviously, you know how the pattern of the program is, right? We get to look at hot topics. What are the hot topics that actually elicits the conversation today? And you do know, as today is Monday, you have Barrister Darlington Agwomor right here in the studio. Barrister Darlington, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I'm okay. How was the weekend?
My weekend was okay. I think this is the first time we're actually, on live right here in the studio this New Year. So Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Maybe
Yes.
that's how God wants it.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, so interestingly, there are quite a number of conversations that's actually taking over Nigeria's socio-political and economic landscape. And trust me, indeed, there are quite a lot, from insecurity to economy to welfare and even states and local governments. That is where the conversation actually started from. Obviously, too, surprisingly, there was a major decision that was taken today in Rivers. And I will say congratulations to the judicial system for eventually realizing the importance of, making sure that you pass up judgments that benefits the majority of the people and not for certain political elites. I'm going to be starting off with Lagos State. Obviously, as you do know, Mudashiru Obasa has been impeached today, and the Lagos State government gave quite a lot of reasons. When I mean the Lagos State government, I'm speaking about from the House of Representatives in Lagos State. And the question that came to the mind of a lot of critics is, why now? Is it that you guys did not know all this while? Barrister Darlington, would you say you're surprised as to the outcome today of the impeachment?
No, I wasn't.
You expected this?
I saw it coming. Yeah, when they came for holidays in Lagos, there was a meeting between Tinubu, Obasa, Sanwo-Olu. And during that meeting, things came up. We discussed it here. Obasa was trying to sack the last year chairman.
Yes.
To pave way maybe for his own nomination and all that during the primaries. But Sanwo-Olu refused. And Tinubu got angry that why should Obasa make such a move? That means the man was trying to create his own kingdom, especially in the State Assembly where he is the Lord of the Manor. They said of how high-handed he has been and all that. Meanwhile, he has already been trapped earlier on with all the corruption allegations, all the money that they allowed him to be siphoning and all that. Remember also that last year, I think early last year, EFCC froze 3 of his accounts.
Yes.
Because of the money that was found there.
And afterwards, we didn't hear anything again.
Exactly. They kept it on the cooler, waiting for the D-Day. It was when this ambition came up and they were trying to be recalcitrant that the president now said, okay, your cup is full. Actually, Sanwo-Olu would have been the sacrificial lamb. Are you aware? When they started this idea of going to court that EFCC will arrest Sanwo-Olu after his tenure and all that, I knew that something was cooking. That was when this Sheyi for governorship issue came up.
Yes, it's still on actually.
Good. That was when it was brewing. And apparently Sanwo-Olu didn't like the idea, and then they reminded him that, look, we have something on you. Maybe that one got sense quickly and then piped down. But Obasa was still insisting.
You recall that Obasa, I think after the 2023 elections, we heard when they said that they are going to renew a couple of, laws within Lagos State.
Yeah. He was trying to take over Lagos from Tinubu. That was even the cross of the matter.
From Tinubu or Sanwo-Olu?
No, from Tinubu. Who's Sanwo-Olu? Tinubu.
Let me remind you something.
Yes.
I think there was a poll on X where some supporters or some conservatives were saying that let us look at those who would be governors. Now, these individuals were derogating Sanwo-Olu. They called him all forms of names.
Exactly.
And then they brought out some individuals that they touted that people would love to be their governor in 2027. They even said that having a Muslim governor, right, from the southwest would be good because they are very firm in decision making, as in contrast to someone who they think or they say that is not firm. If you look at what happened,
nobody could be as firm as Tinubu allows him. Nobody in Lagos State. It's not possible.
That was basically what they were using to described the entire scenario, and people were giving their orders. I think in that poll, they mentioned Hamzat, Mudashiru Pansa, Ambode, and one other person
again.
as well. Yes, for him to come for the second time. A couple of persons actually chose Obasa. Do you think these were the moves he was making on ground to begin to garner public support for his ambition?
When he sacked the chairman of Alimosho local government, I knew that this man is biting more than he can chew. I knew. I said it here that this man is going too far without the approval of Tinubu. And he was doing all this, even without the approval of Sanwo-Olu. So the man was trying to be assertive.
So you think
that was what angered even those that removed him?
You think Tinubu has a hand in this? Because I was actually surprised as to how they detail. They put out Obasa's sins. They put out the allegations of misconduct, all the financial misappropriation and infractions from when he became like the speaker. And I was like, are they not supposed to cover up for themselves?
No, not in this matter. When you are dealing with a godfather, please be very careful. Whatever you are getting, you think he doesn't know. He knows. He's using it as a bait to use against you later. All these people that are even working with him, he has something on all of them. So whenever they want to become assertive, he will remind them where they are coming from. That's what happened to Obasa.
Interesting.
You know, in Igbo land, they say when a deity becomes too troublesome, it is reminded of a tree that carved it. That's what they reminded him. All those money and all that he was using to land on his back, you think they didn't know? No, they allowed him. So that when he becomes too rough with his mouth, they will say, okay, oh yeah, now go and pay for what you have committed. That's what they do, nothing else. And that's all godfathers all over the world. That's what they do. When you are working with a mafia, they will not come to you directly. They will set a bait for you and you fall for it.
Really?
Thinking that they love you. I told you that someone would have been the sacrificial lamb, but he got sense quickly. Why do you think one Barrister Darlington went to court to defend him? When they said they will pick him up after his tenure to probe him and all that. Why do you think such a thing happened? So this is what was paying out. Just because they heard that Seyi Tinubu want to become governor. All of them are flexing muscle. Meanwhile, Tinubu was laughing at them from Abuja. When we came to holidays there, do you know this list of meeting that went behind closed doors? Do you know? That was the result. That's the result. The result is what you saw today. That was when the decision was taken. So don't think it's a joke. It's not a joke. With what happened now, will anybody come up again and say he want to challenge Seyi Tinubu? No. Will any other person come? Especially this Lagos. And to tell you how serious the project is, there is this rumor that Seyi Tinubu want to get an Igbo wife.
Seyi Tinubu wants to get an Igbo wife.
Yes.
But his wife is Igbo now.
Already, that's what I'm telling you now. That's what I'm telling you now. So if that Igbo wife will now counter Rose Vival, who is rumored to have an Igbo blood. You remember what happened in last election when the Igbos almost gave him the vote. So that would now counter.
But Seyi Tinubu actually has an Igbo wife, which is what is surprising because those who are touting him, the conservatives, are saying the conservatives are saying that they wouldn't allow the president's son to become the governor of Lagos State. They said that from now henceforth, any politician from the southwest that wants to take on from the southwestern states that wants to occupy any political position must not have a mixed relationship with.
Really?
They didn't mention any other tribe, but they said Igbo. They don't have issues with any other tribe. They said Igbo. So now that Seyi Tinubu's wife is, what does that mean then?
All laws can be broken when it involves the godfather.
All laws can be broken.
When it
is that not going to be hypocrisy on the part of those who are actually subscribing to this supposed tribal sentimental issue?
Leave that thing. We'll be here to laugh at them. Shebi the Rofa fight will start in 2027. Don't worry yourself. It will start now. We will know what is going on. They will not eat their words, especially this Obasa. Was it not the one championing the Igbo agenda?
Exactly.
Now I want to know what they will say when this lady and Seyi Tinubu will be campaigning. Abi, I want to know that will tell you what's going on in Lagos State. They will expose themselves to.
They ruled out all his sins. They said he comes in late for legislative sessions and meetings, that he displayed high-handedness and lack of regard for members. What is surprising is why now? All this while he has been displaying all of this and you guys did not talk through it. He demonstrated undemocratic and authoritarian tendencies and you guys re-elected him as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Reps. They also mentioned the fact that there were other things that he is alleged to have committed. For example, official records in the Lagos State House of Assembly budget discloses that 30.19 billion naira was allocated for vehicles, including official cars, utility buses, and backup vehicles, and that investigations reveal that these vehicles, none of them were purchased for the year 2023, and only a small fraction of the 2024 allocation has been accounted for. Also, that there is lack of tangible outcomes, which sparked public outcry. President, which public outcry? A few critics talked about it, but we didn't see anyone really give that public outcry. If there was a public outcry, the House would have sat and deliberated. You guys reinstated him as your speaker, right? They also mentioned 1.1 billion naira for properties in 2023, 126 million naira for properties in 2024 in Abuja alone, 15.65 billion naira for office construction in 2023 and 2024. And also, they talked about the fact that there were frosty relationships within the assembly. All right. For example, they said there was growing resistance from within the assembly. New lawmakers who joined in 2023 with some older members are challenging his financial decisions and demanding transparency, accountability as well. They also talked about misplaced priorities on the public expenditure of the Lagos State taxpayers' money for some amounts allocated for certain projects which they did not see any viability, they did not see any evidence or proof of that project becoming realistic. They also mentioned the fact that they spent 17 billion naira on assembly gates.
Yes.
Assembly gates, fixing a complex gate.
Yes.
Meanwhile, according to Obasa, he said that particular information is fake news, is spurious, and it is funny. Now, apparently also, there are claims by a certain group under the Lagos State Anti-Corruption Coalition. They accuse the assembly of spending the alleged amount to construct not just the gates, also other issues that has to do 200 million naira, which was spent on organizing Thanksgiving service for staff. Barrister Darlington, now that he's been impeached, who will recover all those funds?
No, you ask me, did they send him to EFCC? No. They just asked him to go and sit down and enjoy his loot. All this money was being kept just for the election, which we never hold again. He was gathering funds for the election.
No, my question is, who, after all of these scenes have been reeled out now, how will they get the funds back? Especially for the fact that some of these projects were never executed. No. So is it just impeaching him and then he has gone with the money?
Did you hear me? Did you hear that EFCC came for him? They were waiting for him to make noise, then they will come for him. Look, if he's very wise, you let him learn from Ambode. I think that's what he's going to do. It's not a question of saying I want to fight. Who am I going to fight? The people that are more powerful than you, he won't even resist it. So you just keep quiet and enjoy all he has collected. And that's what is going to happen. He will only be kept, he will only be allowed freedom if he keeps quiet. But if you want to make noise and say you want to challenge it, this and that, my dear, he's going to jail. He is going to jail straight up. And he knows the allegation against him is so weighty. He won't even dare. That's what is going to happen. So when they are stealing all this money in Lagos State, my dear, this is what happens. This is what happened. Do you think the herdsman in Alausa, is he free? He cannot be free. You and I know that. He can't. That's why he kept quiet. That's why he's doing everything they ask him to do. Because if you make too much, even the assembly will impeach you within 30 minutes. The assembly will be giving all that. Within 30 minutes, the governor can be impeached. So it was a game that Obasa lost. He lost in the game. That was what happened. In fact, while they were discussing that issue that day when Tinubu was around, Tinubu was even parading within the vicinity of the meeting, but he didn't say a word. So what does that tell you? The man didn't get it. He didn't. All the body language pointed to the fact that a decision had been taken on who will take over from Sanwo-Olu. And you are flexing muscle with all the corruption allegation against you. So, my dear, it is left for Lagos people. Shebi, they say the Igbos have no say in Lagos politics.
Yes, so they've alienated the Southeasterners. In fact, the divide is wide.
I told you that God has a way of sorting things out. When you will do it, you won't even know. All these people, all these elders of Lagos, all these those people in Egbe and all that. It is left for
saying that they had a conversation concerning Nnamdi Kanu's release if they will have the support of the Southeasterners and all of that. Now, he has not occupied any public office in any capacity. He has always been a private person. How is it possible without that experience, aside from now that he's possibly learning under his father, as the father is the president, that he'll be touted and possibly win to become Lagos State governor? How?
Esther, when the godfather is involved, laws can change.
You don't think that the Southwesterners will raise an eyebrow? They wouldn't cry out? They wouldn't say anything?
Hold on. With what happened to Obasa, it will be foolhardy for anybody to make noise because all of them were installed wherever they are, including their Oba and every other person. They were all installed and they can be removed by fiat. Can't you get it? Or are you not aware of what I'm saying? They were all installed. So they were holding offices on behalf of somebody.
Did Obasa ever declare that he wanted to become a governor? Aside from certain groups touting him, we're seeing posters of him.
Don't you know how it works? Who is funding the group? You mean a group can just wake up and be when you did not tell them to do that? We know how this is. You can't come out now. It is when the group, synthesizing the people, giving some palliatives here and there, then one day some group will say, we want you. So you cannot come out immediately. Like Tinubu have his own group now.
All right.
The young man have a group.
Oh, okay.
So all these things that is happening, you can see why Nnamdi Kanu is being kept in detention. It's for bargaining chip. I'm telling you, there's no other reason.
There are claims that he has a good relationship with the EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede. There are claims that he has a good relationship.
Who has a good relationship?
Obasa has a good relationship with the EFCC chairman. The group is saying that there is an alleged relationship between him and the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukoyede. The speaker, however, denied attending the screening and confirmation by the National Assembly for Mudashiru Obasa, or the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission chair. So, if this supposed relationship, as they say, the intimate relationship they have as supposed other political relators or political friends or political whatever you want to call it, does that mean that we would not see the EFCC call out this man? After all his sins has been read out here, we're not going to see a group of persons that will investigate these funds. The Lagos State government will not set up a criminal investigation committee to ensure that all of these monies that has been siphoned or divested are returned back to the state government coffers, or just because he's been impeached and that's where it ends and everybody will keep quiet with all the monies that have been outlined here?
Have any high-profile case been prosecuted in Lagos State?
Not with this kind of breakdown given as to this man's sins, and then it just goes off like that. Nobody does anything about it.
Esther, are you the only new man in Rome? What you are hearing and seeing is a peanut compared to other Lagos State governors that left office. What are you telling me? What Obasa is alleged to have collected is like a peanut. If you want to probe everybody, my dear, look, the investigation may not end in 1 year. Since 1999 till now, nobody has opened the books of Lagos. Do you know how many skeletons that are in those cupboards there? You want them to open it? If they push Obasa too hard, he will swing the bin, just like Ambode. Ambode was telling you that we know what we know, but they did not allow us to say that what he knows until he left office. That's why they did not impeach him. So it is obvious that nobody will do anything. How this relationship with EFCC chairman is neither here nor there. Are you telling me that if EFCC chairman is giving orders today to arrest Obasa, he will not carry it out? He will not carry it out because they have friendship. You know it's not possible.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? The EFCC chairman knows. Did he not say it sometime last year that he is surprised that with the amount of money that they have stolen from Nigeria, that Nigeria is still existing? EFCC chairman said it. So what are you saying?
Barrister Darlington, we will still come back to that. Let's look at the court sacking Pro-wike Rivers PDP chairman and others. A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt sacked the chairman of the People's Democratic Party in the state, Honorable Chukwuemeka Aaron, and other executives of the party. The court was presided over by Justice Stephen Jumbo, and he also nullified the word local government, and state congresses of the PDP held in the state in July 2024. The court's decision followed a dispute over the legitimacy of the PDP congresses, which were conducted by a faction of the party loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Nyesom Wike. The congresses had been marred by controversy, with some members of the party challenging their validity. Allies of the state governor, Sim Fubara, who is obviously at odds with Wike, were allegedly excluded from the congresses. So, in July 2024, a state high court presided by Justice Charles Wali had stopped the PDP from going ahead with the ward local government and state congresses. However, the party at the national level ignored the court's ruling and gave the approval for the congresses to proceed. The latest development is coming less than a month after another high court nullified the ward local government and state congresses of the opposition All Progressives Congress in the state, which produced Chief Tony Okocha as state chairman. Barrister Darlington, I want to ask a question. Is there a conspiracy somewhere to implode that state? Ever since Sim Fubara took over and he says, okay, I no longer want to be a stool. I no longer want to be an enabler of whatever it is my godfather that supposedly helped me gain this position. It has been one topsy-turvy situation or the other. The court has been a major instrument for the political destabilization in that state. Today you hear that, oh no, pro-wike lawmakers are valid. Tomorrow you hear that they're no longer valid. Next tomorrow you hear that, oh, they are valid. Next tomorrow you hear that, no, the seat is no longer there is no vacuum in that angle or in the state National Assembly. The other time, Fubara presented the 2025 budget in front of the same supposed 4 members that are part of his team. I'm waiting for the court to say that that budget he presented is illegal. He will need to represent the budget. Barrister Darlington, what exactly is going on in that state, and how is the court enabling the dispute or the conflict in that state?
My dear, don't be surprised. That is what happens when you want to wrest power from a godfather. It's not always easy, especially the one that has entrenched himself. That's what I'm telling you about Lagos State. It will be very difficult, except the elders come together. The only thing that is keeping Fubara on seat is Rivers elders who are behind him. Are you aware?
Obviously.
The people of Rivers State are behind Fubara. That is why Wike is like a fish out of water with his supporters. I'm telling you, the people have already told Wike and his group from Abuja that, look, Rivers no be Lagos. They have told him, So all the victory that Fubara is getting is because people are behind him. You know, people are behind him. They now see what is going to happen if they allow Rivers State to be hijacked by one man. And that's what they are trying to avoid. So when you are trying to do such a thing, it is not always going to be easy. Unfortunately, Wike did not learn his lesson very well from Lagos. He graduated before the graduation day. That's why he didn't learn very well. And now he has burnt his fingers in Rivers State. He has lost on up front. Court has validated the budget presentation. Court has validated the local government chairman election. Court has validated whatever Fubara is doing in Rivers State. Court has validated the return of the allocation from the FAC. So what else is Wike holding against him now? Nothing. Nothing. He has lost everything. He's just making noise in Abuja. He has no weight in Rivers State again.
You remember Tony Okocha and all the statements he had brazenly made.
I'm telling you,
as to how they conduct elections there, how they conduct local government elections against court. No, he even stated categorically that the process is very easy. Once elections are conducted, they do their thing. They tell INEC the results to announce. INEC announces. If the opposition disputes the result outcome, they will tell them to go to court. Already the court has been settled. Okocha has made that statement twice. He has come to the public glare to make that statement. We did not hear that DSS officials invited him for questioning. We did not hear that INEC even distanced themselves from whatever allegation Okocha was making, and he was brazen about it. He said it, that even while he was a chief of staff to former Rivers State governor, exactly, everything is decided in the office. And now he was still put in as the APC supposed chairman there. So would you be surprised that he was sacked? Do you think this is a way of them trying to clean up their reputation, trying to clean up the kind of idea or ideals that people have about personalities within this administration?
He thought that the same brigade they were using when Wike was there will continue. That was what he thought. You know, that was his own thinking, not knowing that the game have changed. Look, what is going on in Rivers State will be a litmus test for the courts. I'm not joking, because a lot of infamy has happened in that state. A lot of infamy, in that particular state. So the judiciary is about to clean up themselves in Rivers matter. I have always said it that there is no court. There is no court that can reinterpret Section 109 about defection. It can never happen. Eventually, we are then not sacked. We are then not, because there's no way the court can wriggle out of that. The constitution is very clear, unambiguous. That is why the thing has been kept in abeyance all this time. If it is in favor of APC, they would have ruled in their favor since, and maybe they would have continued sitting and all that. So, my dear, they will not get away with this. That's what happened. You know, look, whenever you want to play any game, be careful whom you are playing it with. Fubara have demonstrated that he has wisdom, and maybe those advising him. Not this one that Wike is making noise all over the place. He's hippopotamus. Oh yeah, come and eat everybody now. You are hippopotamus. Come and eat everybody, River State.
What kind of democracy does Nigeria practice?
In fact, it's very appalling. Very appalling.
And there are different types of democracy that countries practice. But what kind of democracy does Nigeria practice? If you try to check your dictionary to tell you that we practice a hybrid kind of democracy that is in between or classified between, flawed democracy, which is between democracy and authoritarianism. Now, in that particular situation, are we going to say that on paper it possibly looks good, and that when it comes to electing persons, it has nothing to do with the generality or the majority of the public? It is done in such a way that certain persons elect whom would represent the interest of the majority of the public. If Nigeria believes that it is not practicing the supposed hybrid democracy, it doesn't have authoritarianism as part of its definition for democracy, then what kind of democracy would you say this is? They say our politics is so dirty, only a few understand the political terrain. Others also say that with the kind of dirty politics practiced in this country, Peter Obi cannot emerge as a president because the kind of path he's trying to infuse is completely not in tandem with the kind of democracy practice here. Others are also saying that if indeed he intends to get power in this country, he needs to get his feet soiled and his hand muddy. That kind of clean politics cannot be achieved because from time immemorial, the design of the democracy has been designed in this manner that only benefits a select few to the disadvantage of the majority. In that case, what then happens? What kind of change is Nigeria going to achieve? The
change is possible. Very, very possible. Look, one man created this infamy. One man can correct it. Nothing lasts forever. I'm a firm believer in that. No evil lasts forever. Esther, go and check history. No evil lasts forever. We had an Adolf Hitler here. We had a Benito Mussolini.
Okay.
We had Emperor Bokassa, Idi Amin. Mobutu Sese Seko and the rest of them. Even Iyadema of Togo and our own Abacha. Where are they today? They are fizzled out into history. So there is nothing that lasts forever. I'm telling you. At a point, there will be class suicide. The same elite that have held people in hostage, they will be fighting among themselves until they dissipate into oblivion. Then the real people will come and take over and govern their people. No evil lasts forever. As long as it is evil, they even know that their time, their game is already up. They are just fighting for nothing. For example, look at Wike and Rivers State. When last did you hear him go to make noise there? Who is behind him in Rivers now? Who? That's what I'm telling you. At a point, look, God will have a way of telling the evil one that your time is up. Go and check even in your Bible. Don't make noise until God has said, look, it's over. And there's nothing you can do. As long as the people are steadfast, God will hear their cry one day and bring a leader that will save them.
Barrister Darlington, as the situation in Lagos State was occurring, another simultaneous situation was occurring at the People's Democratic Party national headquarters. Now, today the supporters of Obasa came in with their charms and amulets, trying to say that that cannot take place.
They
arrested all of them. They wanted to cause chaos and anarchy. They were all arrested. I don't know if they will later be taken to court or they'll be freed afterwards. But normally these are supporters that a couple of persons will say were bought over to come and do what they did. Now, there was tension today at the national headquarters of the PDP. Police operatives were also deployed to the area, because in the Lagos State House of Rep Assembly today, that was how there were police operatives along all the parameters at the premises. Everywhere there was high security, cordoned off. Now the same thing to happen today. The deployment is coming as the party's national secretary seat is being contested by two individuals, Samuel Anyanwu and Ude Okoye. Now, aside from the presence of police personnel, some supporters of both Anyanwu and Okoye are also present. The controversy started when Anyanwu contested for the Imo State governorship election, which he lost to the incumbent. Upon his return to the party, Okoye, who held the position while Anyanwu was away, challenged his right to return to the office. The courts ruled in favor of Okoye, and the PDP National Working Committee acknowledged him as a legally recognized national secretary of the party. Anyanwu is insisting that he remains the national secretary until the Supreme Court rules on the matter. A court judgment said Okoye was going to be the one. Is it not the responsibility of Anyanwu to now file an appeal, which obviously will take into the Supreme Court until the Supreme Court judgment before you? But however, Anyanwu stormed the PDP National Secretariat, which had them call the Nigerian police force to barricade the entire area. Which brings me back to my question. What kind of political structure have we embedded as our foundation here? Are we going to continue to see this?
My dear, when you have a leader who does not recognize democracy but touting to be a Democrat, this is what happens. Because, look, are you telling me today that if we have a democratic leader, this kind of nonsense will be going on? It will not happen. But when you have a mafioso kind of democracy, that you will grab it, snatch it, and run with it, is that not the mantra of this administration? Okay. So every other person has followed suit. Because if Anyanwu has some respect for himself, he should have obeyed the appeal court order now. I mean, don't even bother yourself with the seat. Go to Supreme Court. Because the man has been judged to be the authentic national secretary of PDP. Go and appeal at the Supreme Court. Let the Supreme Court to decide on the matter finally before you can now come back to challenge the man sitting there. But now you are doing all this brigandage and all that. What do you want to do? You can be charged for contempt of court order. Maybe he doesn't know. They should arrest Anyanwu for contempt of court judgment. I'm not joking. They should arrest him because he is going contrary to court judgment, which he is aware of. Why would you not go and gather some thugs to come and do what? Okay, whom are you going to preside over? Because the people you want to preside over does not want you. Is it by force to become national secretary? It is stated clearly in the electoral that if you want to go and contest an election, vacate from the one you are holding. You cannot be holding two offices. You can't. You cannot be holding two offices in a particular party. Is Anyanwu not aware of that? How can you fail in your governorship bid? Then you now want to come back to collect. Is it that position? Is it your family property?
Well, it happens to be that most times, usually like that, when it comes to political seats, where opportunists think that it is their personal property.
Yeah, because a president has been sent in the past, so people now want to lash at it. You know, what Anyanwu is doing is so disappointing, seriously. Very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
For the national secretary seat.
It's very, very disappointing. Because PDP is a weak party. If not, other police to arrest him and charge him to court again. Yes, he should be in court by now. That's what they're supposed to do because he is going contrary to court judgment. It's an offense on himself. I don't know why they are even calling police to barricade. Barricade what? They should pick him up and charge him to court. That's the only thing they can do now. Even detain him. Detain him. Let me see how he come and be making noise. I don't know what PDP is doing, seriously. I don't know whether they have a head. If they have leadership, this kind of nonsense cannot be happening. A matter is very clear, very, very clear. So what is all this noise all about? Making a mountain out of a molehill. Eh? Every time people just create problem where there should be none. You went for something else, it failed. Go and lick your wound like every other person. Because it happened with Lawan at the National Assembly. You heard when Okorocha said it, that he's worried for surprise that some people became what they are, even when they did not contest election. You know, he said it before the man. So because it happened, therefore, I now want to follow suit. Can you just imagine? It's so sad, serious, very, very sad. And this APC, the legacy they will leave behind, I wonder who will clean it up. Because they have psychologically destroyed the name democracy. Psychologically, Nigerians don't even know the meaning of democracy again. All manner of non-state actors are now a government of their own under this particular party. As if that one is not what. MC Oluomo, the court have ruled. You are not the president of any URTW. You have been asked to vacate that, but he's still acting on that particular post. The day he visited
nobody's questioning anything.
The day he visited this Edo State governor, you saw how this man was welcome. I was asking myself, what is going on? And that day, transport fare changed in Edo State. And the transporter were protesting. From the 100 and 200 naira they were paid, it went to 1,005.
Barrister Darlington, indications have emerged revealing that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration plans to list out names of 18 banks owing almost 200 billion naira to Nigerian telecom operators on unstructured supplementary service data, that's USSD.
Exactly.
Now, 18 banks have remained adamant towards setting it for several years. The reason for the publicity seems to be the telcos to stop offering them services that enable their customers to conveniently do online banking. This is a breaking development, Barrister Darlington. Now, you remember that just last week we heard that the telcos were saying they may shut down operations, that they want to increase tariff by 100% because of the current economic reality. They have to make their own gains.
Yes.
We also saw the stipulation for any transaction, 50 naira will be removed from your account if you're using any of the platforms. It has already begun. So where does this leave the average Nigerian?
Is that more hardship for you? Did I not tell you last year that people should prepare for this year? I told you now. The hardship have already started. Look at what is going on in Jigawa.
Well, if these banks are exposed, does it mean that if the banks pay up their money, then they will no longer increase the tariff by 100%?
Who told you that?
I'm just asking because now that the president has said they intend to expose the name of these banks owing the telcos.
If they pay that money, they will recoup it now. That's where the increment will come.
Why are the banks owing the telcos with all the surcharges they make in any transaction that we do? You want to do what do you call this thing? USSD transaction to transfer money, you'll be surcharged. They'll remove their money. You want to use the app, they'll remove their money. Even when you go through to the cash point, that's physical transaction, they'll remove their money. If you go to use the POS, they'll remove their money. The POS agent as well as paying for the bank. So if the banks, if this monies are taken, why can't the bank pay the telcos?
Who told you that the banks are being regulated in Nigeria? They don't listen to you. You remember the case of one customer who went to court because of caller tune. He told them, I don't want this your caller tune that you are deducting money from my account. They didn't listen. The man went to court. And the court to find MTN 50 million in favor of the man. This is what has been going on repeatedly. They are not being regulated. Both the banks and the telcos, they are not being regulated. So whatever is going on there now, we need sanitization. It is even worse with the banks. They are in collusion because they believe that most of their customers are illiterate. They don't cross-check their accounts. They don't know what is going on there. You know, as long as they can see maybe it's just 100 naira, 50 naira, it's not, you know. And you multiply 150 naira into maybe 200 or 50 million people. How much does that pan out to be? So it is when they are being regulated like that, like this, that they will sit up. I'm telling you, most of the things that the banks get away with Nigeria with, in another claim, you dare not. Every kobo is important to the customer. But he here demands with, even if you make us say, share only 50 naira, you they disturb us. Not only 50, even you will spend 3 times that amount going to bank to go and ask them, where is my money? So, except they are put on their toes, they will not sit up. Remember what is going on with Obagbena, this day man?
Yes, I talked about it in the World News
These are all part of the sanitization.
These are part of the sanitization.
Yes, and it's all towards 2027.
But Obagbena is actually disputing all of the things that were said by Femi Otedola. In fact, that particular story caused quite an uproar. I mean, in terms of the conversation, why Femi Otedola had to go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, where the president is for a summit, to disclose to the president what that amount of money was used for. I spoke with Barrister Eze Eluche this evening, and he actually poked a lot of holes as to why, for example, the chairman of the Federal First Bank of Nigeria had to go to Abu Dhabi in his own way to expose Nduka Obagbena over a particular amount of money which is about $230 million. Now we know that Nduka is owner of Arise Television and also This Day newspaper. But this financial transaction that took place, or the loan, was basically for a different company owned by Nduka Obagbena. Now he went ahead to say he was responding to a publication that was made by Nduka in 2015. Where he said that Nduka made some spurious claims which were untrue because he used his platform to tackle, those who, according to Femi Otedola, are trying to hold him to certain what you call expectations of doing the right thing. Barrister Darlington, the issue is concerning this. According to Femi Otedola's expose to the president, which he deliberately released to the press, because you would have wondered that maybe First Bank of Nigeria would have been the one to reel out officially all the statements that Femi Otedola released to the president. But that was not what happened. He's saying that he used $230 million to fund the presidential bid of the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and luxury travels, amongst others. And then he now said his attention has been drawn to articles published by This Day on Thursday, January 9 and Friday, January 10, 2015. Clearly instigated by Nduka Obagbena with baseless allegations aimed at smearing his reputation. Now, I don't know if it is 2015 or 2025. Maybe this is a mistake from the publication. But according to them, they are saying that according to Femi Otedola, he's saying it is quite unfortunate that Nduka is using his platform to cast aspersions at him instead of him to go refund the money. Now, Nduka is saying something, and he actually had to explain the reason why that money, what it was used for. According to him, Femi is saying that it is his responsibility to protect his bank and the stakeholders, including the depositors. But which obviously the question that arose is, are you the official spokesperson for First Bank Nigeria? That's number one. Number two, for Nduka Obagbena, he's calling all of this he says the company that borrowed that money, Hydrocarbons Limited, which is his company, they're insisting that they're not owing First Bank that money, $225 million. In fact, the director said that there was a moratorium that is in place pending the commercial production of oil for which the loan was taken. And they also they gave a breakdown of that money. And they're saying that this outstanding indebtedness to First Bank is not true. They gave a breakdown of it. They said there was a legally binding enforceable subrogation agreement with First Bank. They mentioned the date and the time. They also say in their quest to stay afloat, the FBN loan was sold at $600 million as an eligible banking asset with comfort from DHL. That's GHL. All of this has a couple of technicalities in it. But the major question is, why is it that Femi Otedola was the one who went to give out all of this to the president in Abu Dhabi? Others have considered it is a political maneuver, possibly because Arise Television is seen as a controversial television station, which puts a question a lot of things with this administration. But do you think that sentiment should not be attached to this, considering the fact that there are allegations against Nduka in terms of supposed his expenditures and supposed profligacy?
Now, let me ask you, in all this, why should the courts be the fall guy here? Why were they using the court and the court is playing along? For a weighty matter like this, it cannot be through expert motion. The other party should have been involved to explain mistake before you can give this sweeping order. Do you know what you have done? They froze all the account of these organizations without thinking of the salaries and all that of workers. I mean, that's not how things are done. The court was used here. I don't know whether the court is aware of the weighty nature of this particular case before they made that order. Especially through expertise. That means I will just be in my house and you are passing orders against my company without notifying me. I mean, where is that done? The court should have asked the other party to come and explain whether this ex-parte order has merit. Will it cause any damage? If it is not taken up immediately. I mean, ex-parte order has been abused. Ex-parte order is a case whereby, look, my lord, if this thing is not done now, so much damage will be done. So we need it now so that you can prevent a very serious matter. That is what ex-parte order is all about. But here, even things that require robust debate in court and all that, that it does not even warrant ex-parte, people will just use ex-parte order, ex-parte motion. What kind of thing is this? Look, our courts should be very careful. They are beginning to look like if they are in partnership with the government or with the party in power. It's not fair. You should have allowed Ndoka to come to court and explain themselves. And why they use that ex-parte motion is because they know that if these people should come to court with the document they have, that ex-parte motion will fail. It will fail. That was why they use it. So what have they achieved now? There is nothing there's nothing immediate about the order. Nothing. This man would have come to court and conveniently defend themselves. But you want to ambush them, just to obtain an embarrassing judgment. That means the people will now be struggling to vacate that order. That's what they are going to do first. They will go to court to challenge that order. They will vacate it and then the matter will now start proper. And if they present this matter as it is, Otedola may be put to shame. Because I see political influence here.
You see political influence?
I see political influence because...
But if this has to do with a case that has been on for quite a while, why have they not paid off? It was meant to get in an oil well without having to bid for it. I mean, if one wants to be logical about this whole thing, the only issue right now is why is it that it is Otedola that is the one having to speak to the president about it? Why speaking to the president about it when he went to visit him in Abu Dhabi? What does he want the president to do? If the case is already in court, is between FBN Holdings and Ndukar Begbana or Hydrocarbon Limited, which is the company that borrowed the said amount.
Look, whenever oil politics is involved, my dear, don't deceive yourself. It's a high-stake game. Very, very high-stake game. You don't get involved with it without soiling your hand. All this is all because oil is involved here. And people don't want anybody to encroach in their territory. If you want to come close to that area, they will do everything to stop you. Ask yourself, when did Otedola become the spokesperson for First Bank? They have a spokesperson.
Exactly.
And then they have
a PR team.
Who should have even come in to determine what they are talking about. So why carry this matter all the way to Abu Dhabi? For what? That will tell you what is going on here. And this is a matter in court too. You are already deciding it before the press and everything.
All right, Barrister Darlington, let's take a very short break and then obviously we'll return and continue with the hot topics right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Machiko and obviously the analyst of the evening is Barrister Darlington. This is the Evening Rush. Just stay with us.
There are moments to live, create and make believe. If it ain't graceful like royalty, trust your gut, it's not regal. Feel it flowing through, tastes so good, so you let go and let your spirit thrill your senses. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe. We on some chilling things. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a new experience. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. So smooth and rich. Spirits up, Regal Gin in. Open up a bottle of Regal Deluxe.
Introducing Regal Deluxe Gin, a new taste for an enjoyable drinking experience. Drink responsibly. Regal, a natural gin crafted for your experiences.
Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly. Hear that? That's ice cubes falling into a glass. You're burning for a drink. A shot of that Regal Deluxe will do. You need that smooth chill down your throat. That tingle in your senses that makes you shut your eyes. Before you take a sip, you like to watch the spirit mix with the ice. You bring it closer. You taste it. That right there, that was a smooth moment. A redefining moment. Open your eyes and enjoy the new Regal Deluxe, a gin-flavored spirit drink. Regal, crafted for your experiences. Not to be sold to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
All right, welcome back. This is the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. And obviously, we continue with the hot topics. Interestingly, I'm sure you must have heard about the airstrike that supposedly killed about 16 persons in a community in Zamfara state. And the state governor there came out to actually compliment the Nigerian army and the Nigerian Air Force for helping to rout out and fight out bandits and terrorists in the region. However, also commiserated with the victims or the families of those who actually lost persons as casualties. But the Nigerian army is coming out to tell us that none of that happened. They did not kill, or there was no mistaken hit on any innocent individual, that their strikes were targeted. The Chief of Defense Staff recently spoke in regard to that. He said that there should be encouragement, that in fact it seems like there are certain persons within the states who want this insecurity to continue, that why would they come out and peddle false information? So after telling us that yesterday, the information that there were casualties in the airstrike in Zamfara is untrue, eventually, following that, this accidental killing during the airstrike in the terrorist enclaves in Zamfara state, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has deployed a fact-finding team to investigate the incident. Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimboyewa made this known today, saying the team is expected to liaise with state and local government officials as well as critical stakeholders. Barrister Darlington, my issue with this is, number one, a situation like that happened in Sokoto very recent. There were civilian casualties. The Nigerian military and Air Force came out to tell us that there were no casualties, that all of the information that came out due to that incident were false. Later, we now heard that they were putting up a team to investigate the matter. The same thing too is happening here. Their first response was to deny the civilian casualty, and now they are sending a team to go and investigate the civilian casualties that occurred there. According to the Chief of Defense Staff, he said these community members are always alleged that there were casualties. By the time they get there, they would have said they buried the bodies. My question is, why is it that their first reaction is to deny immediately and then later tell us that you are now sending a team to go and investigate? When you hear these allegations or exclamations or complaints from these individuals, is your reaction not to be, we are going to investigate, rather than denying that none of that happened?
It shows complicity. Over the years, these bombing mistakes have been happening and nobody has been held accountable.
No, it has been too regular. The recent one is not up to a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Over the years, it has been going on. And nobody has been held accountable. No head erode. Nobody was sanctioned. Nobody was reprimanded. And that is why it keeps happening. Now, let us interrogate what is going on. These particular unfortunate villagers that are bombed, who are they? What is their ethnic stock? Because this thing is very important so that we know whether ethnic cleansing is going on in the guise of mistaken bombing. Why does it occur at a particular period in the theater of war? Where, how is it that it is always those rural villagers where a particular ethnic group are decided that this will always occur?
The last time, what ethnic group are you referring to?
Hold on, I'm coming. The last time it was mistakenly dropped somewhere in northern Kaduna, where a particular ethnic group resides. Esther, you saw what happened. You saw what happened. Everybody was going there to go and pay homage, to go and plead. In fact, the National Assembly, the Senate had to bring out 1 million naira from their.
Barrister, what ethnic group? What ethnic group?
I said let them find out because look. The conspiracy theory in my head now, if I say it, you may not agree with me. So let them find out. We need to know who are being bombed. Because I just gave you an example here. When it mistakenly happened in the north of Kaduna, northern side of Kaduna, where you know that a particular ethnic group reside there, you saw what the government was doing to placate them. You saw it. So why is it that particular attention is paid when it happens somewhere? And then it happen elsewhere, nobody will even bother that some people died there. Why? Is that not something we're supposed to probe? To know whether it is actually a mistake or something else is going on. These are issues now. Go and check. Over the years, a particular ethnic group always bear the brunt of this mistaken bombing. Why? You mean they don't know what they are doing or what? Just once it happened in a particular place in northern Kaduna. I am being precise here. The government was almost on their knees begging these people to calm them down because of what happened. Some people were donating money, everything, just to placate them. But this other place, nobody bothered. Nobody. The government have not even said anything. Why?
The SSS has told us in the media to encourage them by reading out positive information about their activities.
Okay.
Barrister Darlington, indeed we know that the fight against terrorism is not easy, considering other factors that they may not want to divulge to us. In other words, there are certain persons within them in the upper echelon that are benefiting from the insecurity in certain regions. Other persons, like conspiracy theorists, believe that in some of these regions that are volatile, there are solid mineral resources there that certain elements only want for themselves. And so some mining activities are ongoing there. They make the area and the region volatile and displace the settlers. So that place is empty for them to carry out their activities. The Chief of Defense Staff recently had an interview with Al Jazeera International. In that interview, he alleged that most of these terrorists have hard currency on them. Hard currency that they do not have the technology to trace, meaning that they are being sponsored. Foreign elements are giving these persons this foreign hard currency. They're also helping them to buy weapons. But then, the journalists now ask questions. Do you need mercenaries to help you combat this? The Chief of Defense Staff said the Nigerian military is capable to defeat these individuals. Barrister Darlington, for almost 12 or 13 years, Boko Haram has ravaged, taken over, pillaged and caused instability in certain regions across the country. It has gotten so bad that it infiltrated other regions, the southeast and the southwest. Now, if the Chief of Defense Staff is telling us that they do not need any mercenary, that the military is capable of handling the situation, and that all they need is international support and training to its staff, to the military men conscripted, and they also need the support of individuals in the localities where this volatility is taking place to provide them information, why then, again, is it that when there is an opportunity, we see mistaken targets, mistaken strikes, soft targets are usually affected? It's almost like it's a war situation where there are always civilian casualties. If you ask, they will tell you they're not at war. So what exactly is going on in that aspect?
I don't believe what he's saying.
You don't believe what the Chief of Defense Staff is saying?
I don't believe what any of them is saying. They are all complicit.
A couple of persons will say that you're just negative about anything that has to do with this government.
Look, we who are ladies must prove. Is that not true?
Yes.
Look, hold on. Give me a minute. Let me provide you with the details.
Okay.
When Dapchi girls happened, did you know? Can you trace the event?
Okay.
The Dapchi girls.
Come closer to the mic.
Yes. Remember that during that period there was curfew in that area.
Yes.
Are you aware?
Yes.
Good. On that particular day, when these terrorists were coming to that area, the military that's supposed to be on curfew, they vacated that road. The police, they vacated that road. The DSS, they vacated that road. And these people came with 15 Helios boxes. And as they were coming along that stretch, Amnesty International was calling the Nigerian military. They called them 5 times. The phone rang out. Nobody picked it. Until these guys came in, they came easy and went easy. And today we are looking for Leah Sharibu. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Good. Now, listen very well, oh. When the same people, maybe they are done with what they wanted, the ransom they want to collect, and they brought these girls back, they were within their community there, discussing and chatting with Nigerian military. We all saw the video. Is that not true?
Sure.
Good. Please, what kind of military will be discussing and chatting with terrorists who kidnap their citizens? What kind of military is that? Up to today, did any hear the road because of that particular incident? With all the noise that Buhari and other people made, we are going to do the... What came out of it? Nothing. Listen very well. When the other one happened, when the Lukarawas were coming into Nigeria, this latest one, whatever name, they have been changing all manner of names. What did the military do? They were telling us, so we saw them when they came. They came through the other side. Some people came yesterday. We saw when they were coming. We noticed their movement. We know where they are. Is that not what the Nigerian military told you? Good. What happened at the end of the day? They are now fighting them to drive them out of Nigeria. But you saw when they were coming. And they have entered. And you are now fighting them to remove them back. What kind of military is that? Esther, we bought Tucana jet. Buhari bought Tucana jet. And he told the American that we did Tucana jet. The end of terrorism is here. They are going to finish them. After that, what happened? Esther, Sheikh Gumi told you that whenever he go to the bush to visit his boys, the bandits, that the Nigerian government used to give him backup. He goes with security to go and discuss and chat with bandits. And then after talking, he will not come back. Are these not facts? When told you Bello, this particular man they are looking for now was Toban. Government officials were present. Esther, true or false?
Sure.
So what other excuse are you giving me as a military? Esther, the National Security Advisor told you with his own mouth that the weapon they bought for Nigerian military, they are selling it to terrorists. Are these not facts? So what excuse is this particular man telling us that they will do this, they will do that? There are people that have sympathy with the terrorists and they are in the Nigerian military. They have sympathy with them because I have told you here, what is driving the terrorism is what? Religion and ethnic sentiment. If you remove these two, this matter will be resolved in 24 hours.
Are you sure it's religion and ethnic sentiment?
Now, religion and ethnic sentiment.
Do you know that these terrorists, if you know how old they are young boys.
They are being brainwashed. They don't even know what they are doing. If you ask them now, what is the reason for your fighting? They don't know. They just gather them, give them gun and say, go and kill. That's what they do. Nothing else.
So you think they use religion to brainwash them?
I said, just look at it yourself.
But Barrister, a couple of persons they also kill are also practicing their religion.
You said what?
The people they kill to practice their religion. The people they kidnap practice their religion.
That is what I'm telling you now. That if you remove this thing, ethnicity, which ethnic stock is bearing the brunt of this terrorism in the north? Mostly. Which ethnic stock? When you identify this thing, then you know what I'm talking about. Well, it's not about maybe it's a random thing. No. A full animal can never kill a fellow full animal. Deliberately, it can never happen. It's like an oath. They can never kill their fellow full animal. Go and check.
President, the Directorate of State Security Service has detained leaders of Boko Haram in Osun State following a court order. The suspects alleged members of Boko Haram / Islamic State of West Africa Province were planning to launch attacks on the southwest using Osun as a base. According to reliable security source, 2 of the suspects were trained in Algeria and Somalia with the goal of establishing a network in the southwest and recruiting massively for sustainable attacks. The source commended the DSS for its new leadership, but cautioned that more terrorist sleeping cells may exist across the southwest. The court granted the DSS the right to detain the suspects for another 60 days while investigation continues. The DSS obtained the court order from a federal high court in Abuja, which ordered the detention of the 10 individuals. The suspects are identified as Adamu Abubakar, also known as Abu Aisha, Babagana Bashuli, Muhammad Adam, Mustafa Abacha, Katuru Muhammad, Babakura Malam Abacha, Muhammad Chiroma, Ali Gambo, Muhammad Umoru, and Muhammad Bundi. Also, the suspects are all from Borno, Yobe, and Bauchi states, with 2 of them being foreigners. The DSS arrested the suspects on December 16, 2024 in Ilesa East local government area of Osun State. The security agency informed the court that the suspects fled from Sambisa Forest following sustained military operations against terrorist factions. And obviously, Justice Emeka Nwite granted the agency's request and adjourned the matter until March 3 for mention. Do you think if it was during the administration of the former president that they would have been able to expose this?
No. You said they went for training somewhere. They went for training, for indoctrination before they came back.
Who went for training?
The terrorists that you just mentioned now, that they went for training in Mali or somewhere. Is that not true?
They are from Somalia. And they were trained in Somalia and Algeria.
Exactly.
And there were foreigners too amongst them. Which is what buttresses what the Chief of Defense Staff is saying. That they have foreign interference are sponsoring these guys.
Now listen very well. Don't buy that narrative, please. Don't. Okay. Esther, a foreign government gave you 400 names of those sponsoring the terrorism. And they are here with us. True or false?
Sure.
They are here in Nigeria. They didn't say that they are foreigners, so they are here in Nigeria. Under Buhari, how come nobody has opened that list? That is, open it. Let us even see the names. How come? Please, how come? If you're a serious government and you're a federal military, you should insist on getting those lists and prosecute those people. So if you have not done that, why are you making noise? Because this is noise. This is absolute noise. Tell us, why don't you want to probe this 400 names? What is the reason? How can you be covering insecurity and you are not telling us you are fighting insecurity? For God's sake, how does it work? If you don't want to fight it, tell us. Stop all these excuses. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If they are not complicit, why is it that nobody wants to open that list? A foreign government told you this thing and you are just looking at it. You don't want to do anything. Every day we are fighting insecurity. Meanwhile, the people that are festering it, the people that are adding fuel to it, you are in bed with them. Please, how can it end?
Barrister, the suspects are linked to a Moroccan terrorist currently in the custody of Spanish authorities. These suspects that are trained in Algeria and Somalia, 2 of them are trained. They came up to set up sleeper cells in the southwest. Now, they are also saying that they are linked to Moroccan terrorists currently in the custody of Spanish authority. We are speaking about a major terrorist organization here.
Who allowed them to fester? Who allowed them? Do you know what would have happened if this thing was taken serious under Buhari? Do you know that now they would have been stamped out? Why are they not in Ghana? Esther, why are they not in Ghana? Are we the only West African country? It's because you provided enough ground for them to fester. That's all, nothing else. I've given you instances here where government officials are pampering these terrorists. What other evidence are you looking for? Why are they not in Ghana? You remember when they showed up in Ghana, what happened? Mahama was in office then, sir. Mahama. He was the one in office then.
Recently, he almost took over the presidential palace in charge. The recent upsurge at the presidential palace, although they were all killed.
So it is when you allow it to fester that this thing will happen. If you meet them 4 by 4, they will leave you alone. This president, this Mahama, he drew a line and dared them to cross it in Ghana. The police came out, the army came, the court ruled against them. Immediately overnight, they left Ghana. They left Ghana in a hurry. But in Nigeria, they are our brothers. Yeah. Remember when Tinubu wanted to remove the junta in Niger? What happened? The North came out against him. They protested seriously that those people in Niger are their cousins. They are their brothers. We should not do anything, no. So it is what is driving whatever we are suffering today. Ethnic and religious sentiments.
Do you think the president intends to change some things that were not done within the previous administration? Because a couple of people don't trust this government because they see it as government in continuum. When the president said, I will continue from where you stopped. But there are some drastic changes he's taking that the North is not happy with. A couple of persons will say, na Tinubu fit them where.
What has he done?
I don't know.
Whatever Tinubu is doing is toward 2027. Not that he meant it. Whatever he's doing now is toward 2027. Nothing else. Not that he meant it. If he meant it, my dear, you will see changes. I mean, real changes, sustainable changes.
The OPC has advised the Southwest governors to invite them so that they can clear out all these Boko Haram or ISWAP members, that supposedly have sleeper cells across the southwest?
Will they do it? Will they do it? They will not do it. Esther, they will not do it. Already, one of the reasons why they are laughing of Oyo was a big tussle is because the man some people were pushing to be their laughing has a Fulani blood in him. And Makinde rejected him. Yeah. And he saw this one, he saw, was it not yesterday or today that he gave a staff of office? Today, yes. You can imagine. So, within even the Southwest and the Yoruba, there are people who have sympathy for this religious. Are you getting it? Yeah. The only reason why they have sympathy is because of religion, nothing else. They are our brothers, they profess this, but they forgot history. They forgot history. What happened between Alimi and Afonja? That made them to lose Kwara and Kogi today. So, a territory that belongs to them. If they are still welcoming these people, believing that they are the same religion. When they enter, religion will be put at the back burner. They will put religion apart and take over your state. You don't know that. Go and make another mistake and I'll be here to tell you sorry.
The statement from the OPC was signed by Otumba Wasiu Afolabi, its president, and he's saying that these foreign Fulani terrorists have always said that after conquering the north, the south will be next. Now it is happening. But OPC is ready to let these evil dreamers know that Yoruba land can never be conquered or occupied by foreign invaders. Let the 6 governors of Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, Ondo and Ekiti states invite us to deal with this menace today before it is too late. Afolabi reacted to the alarm recently raised by Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State that bandits and terrorists escaping from military bombardment in the north were finding their way to the southwest and were building camps in the forest there. The Yoruba Social Cultural Group also called on President Tinubu to collaborate with the governors of Lagos to ensure that the threat of Boko Haram and other insurgents are quickly neutralized in the southwest. Now that the DSS has exposed these individuals, their sponsors, and the fact that they need to investigate and rout out the sleeper cells, do we see an activation as soon as possible? Because this terrorism is not just in the southwest, it has pervaded almost all the regions.
Look, you know why this thing is very painful? We deliberately accepted and accommodated these people. Whatever is happening in Nigeria today, as insecurity is concerned, the government of the nation have a hand in it because they allowed it. If they have nipped this in the bud, removing religious and ethnic statement, Esther would not be suffering all these things. We all saw when it was going on now under Buhari. We saw it.
Okay.
But everybody pretended when we mentioned Fulani. Don't mention Fulani.
Let's take reactions.
At the end of the day, what happened? That's what we are suffering today. Even the Southwest that kept quiet because of one political issue or the other. Yeah. Because I remember Tinubu never uttered the word when these people were ravaging even the Southwest that they even involved Sunday Boho. Tinubu never said a word against what was going on.
And this was what Sunday Boho was trying to fight.
Yes,
this
now
was his fight at
Wakili was almost taking over that territory. The man was sitting pretty there, kidnapping Yorubas and collecting ransom in their own land. Tinubu never uttered the word because of maybe political sentiment. Today now they have gained ground. So on what basis will you fight them when you have a Muslim ticket? That is why I told you that his hands will be tied. You get to a point, they will ask him, look, you have to stop all this you are doing. Allow us to do what we are doing. I'm not joking. Because it is an agenda. It's in their blood, it's in their DNA. There are people you don't make neighbors with because you can never be peace with them. You can never be at peace with them. I'm telling you, I have always asked this question. What exactly does the Fulanis want to take over Nigeria? I mean, what exactly are they looking for? Do they need the whole Nigeria to rear their cattle? Because they say they are looking for. You mean it is only the whole Nigeria that you can rear your cattle? No land in the north to rear cattle. They will give all manner of excuses. We shouted from the rooftop when this started. They used it against Jonathan. Jonathan had left office. Oh yeah, what is going on now? Their leaders have kept quiet too, waiting for them to now, conquer the whole Nigeria. They will now come and share the booty. It's their modus operandi. Jihad is going on. They said it openly that they are going to call their brothers all over Africa to come. That the jihad have started in Nigeria. So all this thing that you are calling terrorism, no. Go and check. Why are they taking villages? Why are they taking farmland? Why are they taking territories? You can see what is going on. So people are treating it with kid glove. That's why these people are becoming bolder. We left the real problem and you are pushing IPOB and all that. The real problem is these people. They are these people that we have been pampered over the years because of where they come from.
All right, Barrister Darlington, let's take some reaction. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903 and the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Cool. What about our sister, Precious?
She's indisposed. Don't worry. By the grace of God, tomorrow she should be here.
I hope she never go that, what do they call them, Lagos State House of Assembly. I bet me she save her life.
Please, what's your name and location? Thank you.
My name is Ivan Vision.
All right, go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
Yes. I agree with you, sir.
Well done.
This matter for Nigeria, I don't know who will come and save us. Because the trouble or the calamity that is for Nigeria, I don't know whether Jesus will come again and save Nigeria. Because this I don't know what is going on. Because look at what is happening in our country, Nigeria. Nigeria is just like Nigeria don't have leader. Like Nigeria don't have leader, or Nigeria only have motor park. Do you understand? So I don't know. But the only thing I'm trying to say is that concerning what they call the bomb blast that happened in Zamfara, if you look into it, it is not good for we Nigeria to begin to be judged or begin to pick and say, the army have killed the innocent people. Those people spreading that information, say the farmer or the
all right, Evangelist, your 1 minute has been exhausted.
The people.
Your 1 minute has been exhausted.
Information at the Boko Haram, at the bandits.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you for joining us.
God bless.
All right. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. 0817 1756 338. All right. We expect you to call, be part of the conversation this evening on the Evening Rush. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Welcome. Hello. Welcome. All right, that's a drop call. Please kindly call back 0700 903 903 903. All right. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please?
This is Telecom from Mashuga. I agree to Barrister Darlington.
Well done.
All right, you have 60 seconds. Please go ahead.
I just want to say about the soldiers. I don't know the time. Okay, I don't know using intelligence this thing to go.
To go where? Can you put your mouth on your speaker? You're fading.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. You say to go where, please. All right, kindly call back, okay? We didn't hear what you said there. Hello,
Esther.
good evening. How are you?
Esther.
Sir?
Okay, let him finish.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. Good evening. Welcome. How are you?
Hello?
Please go ahead and speak. They don't start again.
Hello?
Just aye. Chai.
We are hearing you.
See, please, if anyone is listening right now, the people, the whatever that be in this network, don't start. If you call, just go ahead and speak, but you have 60 seconds. We can hear you. Okay?
Esther.
Yes.
We are not short of intelligence.
Okay.
They are there. Tons of intelligence, both within and outside Nigeria. No political will to act on them. Let us stop talking about intelligence. We have them. Okay, this is they discovered in Oyo State and all that.
Yes.
What is that?
That's intelligence.
Good. If you don't act on it, whom are you going to blame? Please, let people stop talking about the intelligence. We have several of them lying there. Nobody want to act on them. At least the 400 names are very obvious.
All right.
So
Hello.
what are you talking about?
Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. You're live. Hello. All right. Kindly call back. I can't hear you. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call. All right. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. Hello. Good evening. Kindly turn down whatever it is you're listening to us from because there's a feedback there. Good evening. How are you?
Is the feedback still there now?
No, it's not. Good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name?
Yeah, I greet you. My name is Joval Esther. How are you?
I am fine, Joval. Happy New Year to you.
Barrister Darlington. Esther, yeah, good evening. Happy New Year to you. Barrister Darlington, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Joval. How are you?
Barrister Darlington, I cannot come and shout. You have done a very good analysis today. Evidences are there. Anybody who is doubting you should go and do a research. Come back with a superior knowledge and counter you if they can. Let me speak about the Lagos State Speaker, Barrister Darlington. One of his sins that he committed is the fact that he indicated interest in becoming governor of Lagos State. As soon as he did that, Barrister Darlington, and he challenged the authority that is about bringing Sheyi Tinubu to become governor of Lagos State. That is why he is facing this problem. All of them, they all have cockroaches in their cupboard.
Of course.
It's just that if you want to run faster than your shadow, they will open your own cupboard and show you a lot of things there. They all have it. That's why Ambodi said that, which you keep putting it. He mentioned it that time when the Kuforiji wanted to prove him, said, we know what we know. And everybody went back because the man was ready to fall.
All right, Joval, your 1 minute has been exhausted. Thank you so much. Please, we need to take more calls.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. Hello, good evening. Welcome. What's your name?
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead and speak. What's your name? All right. If you're listening to me right now, we can hear you. You may not hear us, but we can hear you. So go ahead and speak. Okay, or you can call the WhatsApp number, but make sure that your connection is quite good so there is no break. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening. How are you? What's your name? Hello. All right, that's a drop call. We've lost that connection. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. If you're watching us on YouTube, the number should be on the screen there. I expect it. So you can actually, if you're watching us, you can actually call the number. All right. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello, good evening. How are you? I can hear you. Good evening. How are you? Hello. All right, we're beginning to experience more drop calls. I don't understand the conspiracy behind this, but it is well. I would implore you to call the WhatsApp number if you are having issues with the 0700 number. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening. Esther.
Yes, good evening. Name and location, please.
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. I can hear you.
Please, I want to ask you something. Who do Nigeria this thing?
Waiting be your name, I beg, no vex.
Is there any way we are wrong? We have wrong.
Waiting be your name.
Are you not the one that choose the government that you
Nigeria
like?
cannot explain speech in their life.
Waiting be your name, Oga. You know, tell us.
In the Lagos State of Assembly.
Child.
Does it mean that one person will control the whole Nigeria?
This Oga the para.
That nobody has to say again. If such a thing to happen in Lagos, automatically Nigeria is gone, Nigeria is gone.
Okay.
Because of what? Somebody wants to become a governor. That is the reason why Obata was sacked today as a Speaker of House of Assembly.
No, but they reeled out his crimes now.
All we know,
Abby.
one day, monkey will go market. It will not return back.
No, this monkey will return, no. He will return. When you people choose him, did we not tell you what is to come? Did anybody listen to us?
All right. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Esther.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for
Remy
calling.
London. Remy London.
How are you, Remy? Yes?
How are you, my boy?
I'm not bad, Baba. You see, there's a song they used to sing in our church back in the days.
Yes.
They say, clear the road, clear the road, clear the road. The impeachment of Abasa is a road clearing mission for Sheyi Tinubu. And when this old man, area father, sang song a couple of years ago, I think Baba miscalculated and misread the writing on the wall. Maybe what he meant to say was, our Mumu just
started, yes.
I can put a bet on it. 2M.
I'm telling you.
Who is your next governor in Lagos?
Of course.
Secondly, I want to beg the Nigerian military. People make mistakes. But when things like this happen, stop dismissing allegation until you investigate. You need to humanize this process.
I'm telling you.
People are victims of your effort You need to acknowledge them. I'm just going to shut up before Esther kicks me out. Right?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? Hello? Hello, good evening. You're live. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Go ahead, please. What's your name? All right, we're having drop calls. So I would implore you to call the WhatsApp number. I'm going to soon start reading out messages. Hello, Alex, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
All right, go.
Barrister Darlington, good evening.
Good evening.
God bless you for all your highlight and input. See, you've been saying the truth, but these people, they will never change. It is only God that will change them, if He will. But if they refuse to change, what will change them will definitely change them.
Exactly.
For me, just like Remy said, Sheyi Tinubu is coming to rule Lagos State.
Of course.
Why did they? You said there's an allegation over Obasa. They all have skeleton in their cupboard.
Yes.
It's because they wanted to remove the enemy that will become a hindrance on their way.
Exactly.
That's why they use these same tactics to remove him. But we are all watching and waiting and watching. That what they used against Rose Viver. That his mother is an Igbo. Now, Tinubu is married to an Igbo lady.
So let's see what will happen. Yes. Igbos have become the beautiful bride now.
All right. Thank you.
Did you even see who they use as the speaker of the a woman, Abi?
Yes, yes. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Tell me what that one will say.
Hello, good evening. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. My name is Innocent.
Innocent, please go ahead.
I am calling from Mamu World, okay?
All right.
I agree, Barrister.
Well done.
Please, I want to say one thing. You know, we Nigerians, first of all, I want to hail the Nigerian military. It's not an easy job to fight people that does not wear uniform. You don't know where they are. So it's not easy. Sometimes, if there is mistake, that's why we say anything crisis is not our portion, because mistake will surely occur. You can still check other place in the world when this kind of thing is happening. But the problem is, also, they should try to manage everything very well, but it's not an easy job to fight people that does not wear uniform. And again, I want to say about Sheyi. For me, I didn't say anything. We need the youth to take over. It can start from Sheyi. If Sheyi is interested, and we campaign to him also, and it's good for him to start. And for the other man, who is the former speaker, he has been trying and he has been succeeding. This one, he failed. Let him go out of the road. Let others take over. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes.
You said the Sheyi should take over. Please.
I didn't say Sheyi should take over.
I'm saying the callers. Some of them. Even some people, Lagosians. Will a snake stop being long? A snake is not to be long now. Is that not true? So if a snake give birth to a child, that child will always be long. Is that not true?
To be long, yes.
So I don't know. We have said it now. Shebi, you say he should come. Let him come.
All right, let me quickly read some WhatsApp messages. Hi, Esther. These allegations against Obasa is just an excuse. The handwriting is clear. He has offended the owner of Lagos by showing interest in 2027 governorship race. If he likes himself, he should just accept the impeachment like that. If he tries to make noise, he will go to jail. Idowu Henry from Ojo, Lagos. Idowu Henry, I don't hear you. Okay, so... Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. Neka from Surulere. In fact, it's only in Nigeria that you can see people in two offices. That's why people that defected from PDP in Rivers is still refusing to go and rest. May God help us and bring leaders that will help us clean up this mess in this country. All right, well done, Neka. Nigerian banks' practices have been questionable, with exorbitant and arbitrary charges imposed on customers. This lack of transparency and accountability is concerning. It's essential the regulatory bodies and relevant authorities take steps to oversee and address these issues, ensuring fairness and protection for consumers. Abidin from Bagada. Well done, Abidin. Okay, Prince from Ilasa. Nigeria is the only country where cost of living has killed the living, where government imposes their selfish responsibilities on a responsible man. Mr. Darlington, responsibilities don't kill responsible man. Oh, well, Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. Concerning the killings in the north and they are extending the killings to other parts of the country, there is an adage that says, when the goat eats the yams of the first farmer's farmland, it comes to the second farm. So mark it, if it continues without equity and fairness in this country, they would hijack the government of Nigeria like Pakistan and other Asian countries to fulfill their agenda. Uche from heaven. Chai, Uche is in heaven, oh. Uche, how are you in heaven and you're complaining? Good evening, Esther. No, there is no Islamic Republic of Nigeria. I reject it. I renounce it. I bind it. Okay. As for terrorism, good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. Chai, Gabriel, this message long. Wait, scene. Now, episode bidiso. My name is Gabriel. It is really painful to me that the opposition leaders and opposition parties in Nigeria don't really know whom they are contesting presidency of this country with. Rather than insist on electoral reforms without which no election will hold, they are there trusting that INEC will do the right thing. Was it not a court in our land that said during the sitting of the election tribunal that transmission of electoral results to IRF was not supported by the law? I stand to be corrected. Unless a proper measure is taken, rigging impossible or reduce the barest minimum level, I won't waste my precious time to go out to cast vote in this country again. I beg, go and vote. You are doing yourself if you don't vote. As for terrorism, we are not serious to fight them. Northern leaders know very much about it. It is an agenda. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. When they catch IPOP members, they kill them on the spot. When they catch terrorists in the north, they lock them for a short time. Then they will incorporate them into the society. Fulani will no, I will not read that out. Thank you. Happy New Year, Esther and Barrister Darlington. APC government has always been a retrogressive machinery from 2015 till date. Hence, nothing good is gonna come out from them. For Nigeria to be great again, APC and their agents must be shown the way out by all means. Esther, this your type of journalism is quite different from others. You speak fact, truth, and you question abnormalities in this country. Unlike others. Keep it up, Emperor. Thank you so much, Emperor, for that compliment. Good evening, Esther and Barrister. Esther, I really commend you for doing a great job. This man cannot change. He has been beclouded with deep sentiments. Do a little you can to change his ministry. Perhaps he can rethink. Only in Nigeria, interpreter is better than pastor in charge. Emmanuel. Hi, Esther. Thank you once again, and I hope you will not skip my question today. Please ask Barrister Darlington for me this question. Who is a Nigerian? Many thanks, Barry. Barrister Darlington, who is a Nigerian?
A Nigerian is that person who believes in Nigeria, who is patriotic.
Okay.
Who will always tell the truth, no matter who's us is God.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Darlington should be coming down. It seems Mr. Darlington has made up his mind never to see anything good in this current administration, even our hard-fighting military. So sad. Buyer from Surulere. Barrister Darlington, please be positive with this administration. I beg.
Please, have I not supported my own position with facts? With facts. That's what I'm telling you. Whenever you want to criticize me, come with facts. I just told you all the infractions our military have committed and no head the road. You can't do this type of mistakes in America and still remain in office. You can't. The military are in bed with these people. Look at how some of their chiefs were eased out of the military, giving them £20,000 and all that, all the perks of office, as if they were governors of a state. With this type of romance, how can things work? Since the Buhari era, we have been giving the military the largest chunk of our budget. What is the result? What is the result? Where is the money going to? And you want me to sit here and clap for them? That means you don't even know how the military, what's it called? Military institution is cut out. Look, just last year, December 16th, there was a renewed or reframed military terms of engagement signed by Tinubu, whereby they were told what to do, all those nonsense they are doing. In fact, that was even why Tinubu banned homosexualism in the military.
Yes, I read it yesterday.
So when military are involved in all this, please, why should I sit down here and clap for them, Nigerians?
Well, they're working hard. They're doing okay. Barrister Darlington, the SSS has advised us to encourage them and spread the word and be positive. It's not easy.
Let the SSS do the needful. Let them do the needful. This is not the FBI I know in America.
All right.
This is not the CIA I know in America.
All right, Barrister Darlington. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther Wachuku. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Mr. Dennis. Hello?
Mr. Chikeze calling from Ago.
All right, Mr. Chikeze, please go ahead.
From Ago.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you. This bandit and whatever they call them, there's no way they can stop it. These people are their brothers. Mm-hmm. That was the main reason they are gathering as a APC. They say no Muslim. All these names they listed, are there any Christian there? You can see the whole thing. So those you can never see them in a nation and they have peace there.
I'm telling you.
They are pampering them, is their brothers. Nobody can stop them. Nobody can stop. As long as Nigeria is concerned, unless another person come. If this thing happen, become a Christian now, you will see the fighter jets will move and go and destroy that place and level the place. Nobody will talk. You see them now. They are saying we are one. That's the thing. They are dragging Muslim this thing with this country. That's why they are pampering them. Well, must sorry come down one day. Let them continue. They think that.
All right, Mr. Dennis, your 1 minute has been exhausted. Please, Esther, any update on the explosion that happened in my town, Imbieri, in Imbitoli local government? This is Charles from Festac. Charles, so far we know there was a midnight bomb explosion in Muneke community, Imbieri, Imbitoli local government area in Imo State. It occurred at a newly completed family house on Saturday night, which reduced the house to rubble, although there were no casualty recorded. Apparently the sound was massive. It was a very massive one, and they waited to see if they could hear screams, but none. So the neighboring villages are calling to ask what caused it. As it is now, maybe the foundation, the check on that particular structure is maybe the foundation wasn't properly put. Nobody knows what exactly happened, but so far investigations are ongoing. So Charles from Festac, I hope you're able to get that right. All right, honestly speaking, the federal government cannot claim that they do not know solutions to the insecurity destroying Nigeria as a nation. At times, I wonder why they aren't doing anything to end it. Maybe because it hasn't hit them directly, that they're keeping mute and allowing innocent Nigerians die in the hands of these unscrupulous elements. Former Governor of Kaduna told us that he knows and communicates with them. What then happened afterwards? Well, we're watching as the planet is carefully observing and listening. Comrade Abraham. Well done, Comrade Abraham. I heard Shay Tinubu's... Okay, good evening, my great station. On the Bandit bombing, I might say they are angry with the Air Force because they killed their people. That was why they said they are vigilante. If you remember well, there was amnesty in Kaduna of recent, so the governor was praising the army, attacking them. With these, it shows the leaders of the state might be sponsoring them. Okay, fine. I heard Shay Tinubu's wife is Lebanese. Which one should we believe? Please ask the Chief Doctor Barrister Darlington. Chief Doctor Barrister Darlington. She's half Lebanese, half Igbo, isn't she?
But no, when 2027 comes, we know the true picture.
She's half Lebanese, half Igbo.
Maybe she will get another wife,
Good evening. Look, Obasa should just stew in his pancake. That is a game he and the mafia play, desecrating democratic governance. We don't pity him and his sympathizers. Tochiko Adele. In the case of ambition of the president's son becoming governor, look, if you say and they say it, how can he become governor in your discovery of the plans to continue to insult Ewo? Okay, Tochiko. Well done. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. Obasa's impeachment is highly political to pave the way for Shay Tinubu as the next governor. Obasa's impeachment has been long overdue. Aneke Chinonso. All right, well done. Good evening, VOP. My name is Shakanade. The North will see the earth belongs to Allah. If you are not an Islam, you are one. All right, you didn't write legibly. I don't understand what you wrote. Good evening, Barrister. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. Solomon Asika from Mushi. Barrister, I'm sure they have sleeper cells in Imo State too, and have invaded most of the communities.
Exactly.
Look, the killings that happened in Ihitanasa, where brothers, sisters, and mothers were killed. Did you see that video?
We are slaughtered.
Jesus.
Slaughtered with the machete and the whatever.
God.
Slaughtered.
I don't understand. What happened?
Their sibling in Lagos were telling the story in the morning show, Igbo show, where he listed a whole family wiped out. For what? Wiped out.
God.
And you want somebody like that to be normal after remembering
where
what happened.
brothers, sisters, and mothers were killed. So if by tomorrow the community pick up arms to fight the government from not protecting their families, would you blame them? And don't forget, you don't judge a person's action when his sanity has been stripped. Barrister, what could have caused that?
That is hatred, wickedness of the highest order.
A whole family.
Innocent people, they didn't do anything to you. Just wipe them out. A whole generation gone.
God.
Eh?
Wow.
So you are telling me that this type of thing, if these people now went on a reprisal, how will Nigeria settle? That's what I'm telling you, that the society deliberately prepared the crime and the criminal commits it and you start blaming him. A man they have dehumanized like that can never be normal. He may run amok. He may run amok. I'm telling you. He may just wake up one morning after thinking left, right, and center and discover that all his family members are gone. He will now ask himself, what am I even living for again?
All right, let me take some messages on YouTube. Immaculate White, good evening, family. Good evening to you. Obed Oji, yes, intelligent Esther. Why now? The moment he declared interest to become Lagos State Governor, I knew he would face all these. All right. Obed Oji, since the judgment of Trump's case went the way it went, I'm no more surprised about anything. Esther, when your analyst that day, Barrister Fred Nzako, said what he said, I shed tears. Politics is really dirty. Nathaniel Abel, hi Esther, how are you? Hi, I'm fine. Nathaniel Abel, Barrister Darlington, good evening, sir. Okay, Engineer Ola, good evening, Esther. I'm really enjoying Barrister Darlington's analysis, listening attentively to you guys from Abuja. Well done. Barrister Darlington, to be honest with you, I don't like hearing that name, APC, I'm telling you. Obed Oji, but what of the judgment in favor of Trump simply because he is president-elect? It is everywhere. Too bad. Quite unfortunate. May God Almighty have mercy.
Not to this extent.
Stellar winners. History will judge APC. APC. Okay. Obed Oji, but okay, fine. I have read all this. Adoye Stowe, hi, happy new year, guys. Happy new year to you. Engineer Ola, APC is a doom and disaster in the history of Nigeria. Stella Winner says, I lost my Access ATM over months now, but bank is still deducting maintenance card charges. Also, Taniola Michael says, to the best of my personal opinion, ABC has no good plan for this nation. John 832 asks, Precious, so where are you? Don't worry, she'll be here tomorrow. Isoma Christopher, ABC government is the worst that could happen to Nigeria. Any well-meaning Nigerians should be ready for 2027. Stella Winner says, even if the whole Nigeria votes APC out, they know how to do their thing. All right, thank you very much for all your messages. Somebody says, Engineer Ola says, Esther, na network where they want increase tariff be that too. Okay, no matter. Charles Terry says, and the Shei's wife, Wu Adibu, how is that going to play out? Amahamo. Mohe Francis Oko says, no matter how long an iron is buried in the sand, it cannot become wood. Those saying Shei will act differently from his father should remain delusional. Barrister Darlington, Mohe Francis Oko, Barrister Darlington is speaking to facts. We are where we are because we see facts the way they are, yet we keep mute. The person asking Barrister Darlington to twist the truth should apologize to him. Okay, Joel Saint, I'm not going to read your message, I beg, no vex. Monday, Asamota, great to see Barrister Darlington. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you too. Good evening, crew. Olamileko from Lagos, like Adibantu sang to his song, loyalty for this government, Nakash and Kari. Objection, not much worry. Everybody gets agenda. With their mercenary enterprise, you can see all this playing out with this government. Once you are outside of line, they take you out. This is what happened to Ambode and now Obasa because he wants his son to run for governorship. If I may ask, Tinubu was not a Lagos indigene. Now that he has become an emperor in Lagos, he wants to impose his son. Nobody said that Tinubu is imposing his son. Nobody said that Shei Tinubu is actually contesting. There are support groups that are wanting him to contest. So we don't know if he has anything to do with the president, and nobody has reacted to that. So let's just be factual and objective and not speculate.
What I would have loved is let us have a level playing field for all contestants. That's what we are saying. Not this one now that if you see anybody who is showing interest, you muzzle him down with all manner of allegations. Okay, the people that are accusing Obasa, have they checked themselves? Have they surrendered and subject themselves for investigation? That is the issue here.
All right, Barrister Darlington, this is all we can take for now. Thank you, all of you who called. Sorry for the connection. The network was poor. We sincerely do apologize. And Barrister Darlington, thank you so much for coming on the Evening Rush. What's your final take?
My final take is that Lagosians, the ball is in your court. You called your son Omale because he has Igbo blood. This other one now, what will you call him? Because he has Igbo wife. Over to you. What goes around comes around.
All right, thank you so much. God bless you. You guys have yourself a wonderful evening. Obviously, Precious will be here tomorrow. Bye for now.